What it do, T Squad? It's your girl Keisha, aka Color Me Pynk, and I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade, Real Housewives of New Jersey, Season 13, Episode 11 review. I drop videos Monday through Sunday. Everything that I say is for entertainment purposes only, not to be taken seriously or literally, meaning my jokes and Jones. So if that works for you, let's get into this review. But before I begin, hopefully you all tuned in today for my interview with BMF and Snowfall actress Christine Horn. It is such an insightful and encouraging interview for anybody that is just a fan of those two shows, or anybody that loves the movie and television industry, or somebody that is looking to break into the industry themselves. Make sure you check out that interview and make sure you thumbs up and share it. Also, you guys, this Friday at 6 p.m. Central Time, I'll be dropping my interview with Winter Williams from Love and Marriage DC. She is dropping a lot of exclusive tea on what's to come in the second half of season 2. You do not want to miss it. It was such a good interview. But anywho, let's get into tonight's episode of New Jersey. So the girls head out on a pub crawl to celebrate Teresa's bachelorette. And as they're walking to one of the pubs, Jen Fessler takes a tumble, takes a fall. And I swear that would have been me. I'm always the person that's falling, getting a cut or a scrape, or somebody drunk always want to talk to me. Like, the crazy people are always attracted to me and want to have conversations. Like, I'm that person out the group. So when she fell and she got right back up so quick and was like, we're going to pretend like that didn't happen. Keep it moving. Walk forward. Eyes straight. Forget that ever happened. I'm going to Men in Black you. I really do like Jen Fessler. I think that she is a hoot. I think that she is a great time. She doesn't take things too seriously. I love her sense of humor. I would be friends with her, really good friends with her. I like her a lot. So the ladies head to one of the pubs and they're chugging beers. Jackie does a beer drinking contest with one of the locals. She wins because, you know, that's what she looked like she used to do all in high school and college, is do drinking contests. The ladies are drinking shots and they're having, you know, water fight and drink fights with one another, throwing drinks on each other, and everybody's getting along. Nobody's arguing. They're having so much fun. Everybody's getting along, and it seemed like everybody was genuinely having a good time, and I actually really liked watching that scene because it was something out of the norm that we really don't see with all of the girls getting along with one another. So the next morning, when the ladies head down to breakfast, Margaret has on a shirt that says endorsed. And of course, that is a clear shot at Jennifer Aiden. And it was funny. You know, it's not anything we haven't seen before on the Housewives, but it's funny. And Jen immediately catches the shade when she comes down for breakfast. And Margaret was like, I'm going to get you made one too as well. So she was like, cool, great. So Rachel is talking about how the night before, when Jen Fessler took that fall, her and Danielle actually connected and was laughing and having a good moment. Now, Danielle isn't down at breakfast yet. And Melissa points out how when they were at her store, Danielle called her a rat. And so everybody was going like, dun, 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 dun. Like, oh my gosh, she called her a rat. That is by far the worst thing that you could ever call somebody from Jersey, is a rat. How dare she? Oh my God, that is just sinister. Everybody's going to jail. The feds are coming. You're a rat? Oh my God. And it's just like, okay, calm down. She called you a rat. Okay. So as they're talking about it, Danielle comes downstairs, oblivious to what is going on and what is being said. So she goes over to the, you know, the spread of breakfast food, and she was like, oh, what is this? Because she thinks that it's sausage, and they was like, it's blood pudding. She was like, what is that? And they was like, it's pig blood in the sausage casing. She was like, no, it isn't. And Rachel was like, I heard it's rat blood. And Danielle kind of turned around and looked at her, but it's not clicking in her head what she's talking about. So then they point out that they told her what she said, and she was like, well, you know, we were conversating. And Margaret was like, conversating? Like, oh my God, how many times do I have to tell this woman that is not a word? It's we were conversing or having a conversation, not conversating. So Margaret was like, Rachel didn't do anything that we all don't do. Like, we all go back and tell each other something that was said. What's the big kitten caboodle? Oh my God, I remember my kitten caboodle. Oh my God. Anywho, so Marge was trying to help Danielle with her business. We find out in a flashback that hadn't been shown, where she had went to Danielle and was saying that, she had made some mock-ups of some new logos for bougie kids. Because she do need help. Child, that stuff looks so thrift store and cheesy, child. But okay. And apparently, what's her name? Danielle and Melissa gonna get into it because Danielle is gonna accuse Melissa of taking one of the outfits or whatever that she brought to the store and didn't pay for it or whatever. So we'll get into more of that tea later on in the season. But, Danielle was so appreciative and giving Margaret a hug. And once again, I don't understand what Danielle's issue is with Margaret, because Margaret has not done anything to this lady. She's been nothing but nice to her. She didn't start anything with her. She didn't try to influence her to be on her side or to not like Teresa and Jennifer. She didn't do any of that. She tried to help her, be kind, and she has been gunning for her since day one. She has tried to find any reason not to like Margaret. And it's obvious that she chose a side. And that's fine if that's what you want to do, but just own up to it and admit it and stop trying to blame everything on Rachel. Rachel chose her side, you chose yours, and y'all are on opposite sides. It just is what it is. So Margaret was like, do you believe that I have an arsenal on all of my friends? And Danielle was like, well, I believe you know things about other people. Yes, I do. And so Rachel was like, why do you believe that? And she just kind of sitting there and not saying anything because she doesn't want to throw Aiden under the bus for what Jen told her the day before about Melissa allegedly having an affair on Joe. So she just sit there and keep it cute and on mute at that point. So then here comes Jennifer Aiden bringing up Margaret going after Louis last season and coming after her. And they get to arguing back and forth. And Jen was like, Danielle's feelings about you, that is her gut feeling that she believes. Girl, that ain't her gut feeling. That's what y'all drilled into her to her brain. And that's what she chose to believe. There wasn't no gut feeling, child. Get out of here. Please stop. Botched. So after that, the ladies get dressed and they get on the bus to head into town to go shopping. And on the bus, we learned that Jen Fessler's husband actually cheated on her. He went through the 7-year itch while they were married. So they separated. They dated other people. She was like, two could play that game, boo-boo. But she found herself missing him. They ended up cheating on her new little boo thing, her little tenderoni. You're my tenderoni. With her husband, and they end up getting back together. And she was like, it actually helped their relationship for the better, and now they're more closer and in love than ever before. So the other ladies get to talking about their marriages and is cheating grounds for divorce. A lot of them say no, and Rachel says, Teresa, are your kids and Melissa kids close? And I was like, Rachel, great question. But it shouldn't have been asked. Shouldn't have been asked because you already know where that was going. But I'm peeping you, Rachel. Rachel was keeping that ball rolling. Okay, I peep game. So Teresa was like, they were. And then, Antonia didn't come. And Melissa was like, are you going to blame Antonia for something right now? She was like, don't say her name. Don't do it. And I agree. Because Rachel asked a question, but that didn't mean that you had to answer, because that's a touchy subject. You already know y'all families, aren't as close as they used to be. Y'all already beefing. Why bring the kids into it? You shouldn't have either answered or just said, oh yeah, they love each other, and just kept it at that and kept it moving. But saying Antonia didn't come to, what's the little girl name? Melania's birthday party, like, why are you doing it? Because if somebody bring up one of them Bratz dolls of yours, you gonna have a problem. Like, I don't understand, like, how Teresa is able to do something, but then when somebody does it to her, it's an issue. You know what I'm saying? She can bring up other people's kids. She can accuse her sister-in-law of cheating on her brother and all of these different things and being a stripper and all of this stuff. But then when somebody call her out, baby, it is World War III. World War III. So, Teresa was like, Melania said I celebrated with her. I wish she could have celebrated with me. Melania said I celebrated with her, so I wish she could have celebrated with me. Cause Louis. So Melissa was like, she had a cheer competition. She wasn't able to miss because she'd already missed one. And if you miss two, you're off the cheer team. And Teresa was like, well, Melissa, your daughter gets done with her cheer competition. She could have came for 1 hour, cause Louis. So Melissa was like, she would have, but she was in Pennsylvania. It's the same when Gabriella has a soccer tournament and she can't make it to Gino's communion. You're saying it, in a different way and in a negative way. And Teresa was like, here we go. Tit for tat, tit for tat. It's always tit for tat. And she was like, no, I just have to come with receipts. But what Melissa's saying makes sense. Like, my daughter had a cheer competition. She couldn't miss it. She was out of state. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure they got the little girl a gift. Okay, she missed your Sweet 16. She's been to everything else. Get over it. Get over it. Like, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. And I think that Teresa felt more of a way than Melania actually did. And I think that Teresa poisons those girls' minds against Teresa and Joe, and that's not fair. That she should leave them kids out of the situation. Part of the reason why they feel the way that they do towards their Zio and Gio is because of Teresa. It honestly is. And that's not fair because you don't see Joe and Melissa talking bad about her to their kids. We haven't seen it. We haven't. And we constantly see Teresa including them girls in grown folks' conversations that they should not be involved in. So Teresa says that, she's a great aunt and that she never called their kids disrespectful like they've called Gia disrespectful. And I was like, well, where's the lie? Because Gia been disrespectful since season 1. She disrespected y'all. She'd disrespect her daddy. She'd disrespect anybody. So where's the lie? And you raised that demon child. That's all you. Now, has Gia grown up to be a very responsible, articulate, beautiful young lady, very smart? Yes. But she got involved in her aunt and uncle's business at a very young age. And she shouldn't have been involved in those types of conversations about family conflicts as a little girl. Absolutely not. So Dolores, even in her confession, was like, kids are off limits. It shouldn't have been brought up. And I agree. But I wish that Dolores would stop being a confessional gangster and say stuff like that in the moment. Teresa, you're wrong. How hard is that? But you so busy trying to dick ride Teresa and stay on her good side that you're not willing to check Teresa and tell her when she's wrong. That's why I can't really rock with Dolores, because she talk a good game, but then don't back it up. So Dolores, when they get to the restaurant, admits that she has moved in with Paulie permanently, and that, she like pinches herself that this is real, like she's in a real, true, loving relationship. And I'm happy for her. Melissa is still upset over what happened with Teresa and her bringing up Antonia, and she tired of arguing with this lady. Like, she's just tired. She like, I've been arguing with her for 20 years. I'm over it. And it has to be exhausting at this point to keep on having the same fights over and over again. I do think that they need to be away from each other. I don't want to see Melissa and Joe leave the show. But something has to give, or somebody gonna have to walk away. And obviously Teresa not walking away no time soon. So for my mental health, I would leave the show on my own accord if I was Melissa. I honestly would. I would just leave. I wouldn't want them to offer me no friend of contract. Just go ahead and chuck up the deuce and go on with your life, because this is toxic. It's toxic. And I think with Melissa out the way and let Teresa be on the show by herself and see the same drama continue on in her life, and she can't blame Joe and Melissa anymore, let's see what she does then. Let's see what happens when she experiences the same drama, but without Melissa and Joe being around to be to blame. Then let's see who becomes the new blame of why everything in Teresa's life is the way that it is. Let's see then. So back at the castle, Melissa calls Joe and she tells him what happened, and she says that she's not even sure they should go to the wedding. And he was like, her goal is to push us not to go, so we look bad, right? He was like, that's my only sister. I really don't know, but we all know that on the last episode of this season, something really bad happens. That's the whole accusing her of sleeping around on Joe. Like, how many times we gonna do this? How many times are we gonna do this? But then people will swear up and down that Teresa has changed. How? When you sitting up here accusing Melissa of cheating on your brother once again, but you've changed. Girl, get out of here. Please get out of here. Please, 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 please. So at dinner that night, Danielle offers to allow Rachel to use her bathroom. And she was like, no, thanks for the offer, but I'm good because you called me a rat. So she was like, well, you were being a rat. And Rachel was like, no, it's called having your friends back. Danielle was like, well, it kind of took a left turn. Rachel says it took a left turn because you are being influenced by the shit that other people are telling you, not because of what I told you. You have not made your own decision about Margaret. You are letting other people influence how you feel. And that is the God's honest truth. The God's honest truth. She wanted to hear anything negative that she could about Margaret and run with it just to be friends with Teresa and Jennifer. And I'm like, girl, they using you as a puppet to do all their dirty work while they sit back and their hands is clean and you getting ate up every episode arguing about the same old stuff. Girl, get out of here. So they arguing and yelling in this restaurant, child. And then Margaret and Jen start arguing and Jen called Margaret a booger wolf. And everybody was looking like, what is that? They had to literally Google to see what it meant, child. So it didn't even land the way that she wanted it to land. It's just like, girl, you tried, but that little Joan will never compare to when she said that your lips look like a baboon's ass, child. That will forever crack me up. And when she said you look like a disheveled crackhead, chef's kiss. Beautiful. Overall, I'm going to give tonight's episode of The Real Housewives of New Jersey a B-. A B-. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about the episode down below in the comment section. You guys, make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.